right? And many other superheroes. Like I was thinking about like Zack Snyder's Superman and the new Superman by James Gunn, and I thought there was something missing about it that connect, doesn't connect, at least to me. Like it seems like these superheroes are already powered up, and not in a way that they can access their power in a way that is immediate, right? Like they are able to exert their strength, for example, or their invulnerability, like immediately, like it's already a default. Like their power level is already high, right? And then they're just holding themselves back or something like that. So I think moving forward, if I were to decide to write a film about superheroes, I would make superheroes like exert effort, like to unleash their maximum potential, or their like to increase their potential, right? There must be like a dramatic moment that makes them like, for example, when Superman, let's say Superman sees that uh, his mother is threatened, right? Like in Man of Steel. So uh, his his emotion will like allow him to channel more of his power, right? More of his strength, more of his let's say regenerative ability or something like that, right? Because we've seen this through Smallville, right? In Smallville, the series, Clark started out weak, not very weak. Like he already has his invulnerability and stuff, but his strength wasn't at maximum, right? He was growing as the series progresses, as emotions are dealt with, as he faced more challenges in life. So his strength is like tied to his growth as a person, right? So if we make films about superheroes in the future, there must be a dramatic moment. Like let's say in Act One, so the hero's call, right? So he, let's say the hero rejects the call, right? Just like in A Man of Steel, he rejects the call, and a bad thing happened, right? Like his father told him not to save him, not to save Jonathan, and Clark was not strong enough inside of him to choose to respond to the call, right? He didn't like choose independently to become the Superman, right? So, as a result of that, his father died. So, let's say in Act One, we have the choice, right? The call to action, and then let's say the superhero does not respond to that. Something bad happens, and then his energy, there's a weight, dramatic weight that is tied to his strength, right? So let's say his power to fly is not very strong yet until he reaches Act 2, where he is forced to face that demon, and story wise, that uh, inhibits his flight, right? Let's say he can only like jump in the first moments, right? So this dramatic arc would make up like, let's stop let's stop doing the trilogy and like entire series thing. Let's just focus on a single movie first, right? So let's say it's Superman. We don't have to start from him being like doesn't know his power, but actually we can start like in the James Gunn movie. He's already there 3 years, right? But he's not holding himself back. In actuality, he's trying, but he doesn't have the motivation to unleash his real power, right? Until the time that, let's say, we reach Act 2B, right? So something happens, terribly happens. Like, let's say his parents got entangled with Lex. Like, Lex actually found out. who his parents are. Then he was in this alternate dimension, right? So he kind of becomes stronger through that, right? So he unleashes more of his power. So I think in the future, I hope in the future that writers can tie in, like, and make it clear. Like in James Gunn, there's already hints of that, but he didn't he didn't capitalize on those emotional moments. He kind of, you know, he kind of like made them like non essentials. It's just like it's all about the fun for him and stuff. So I hope in the future, like if let's say DC is bought by another company and there's another CEO, another retake on this superhero film. The goal, I think, for me, is to balance out the powers. Don't make them gods in the super gods. So make them super heroes, but not too much power that they become like uh, almost invincible, and then you're gonna need like cosmic beings to fight them. And of course, these cosmic beings are not going to be able to beat them, right? Because of other dramatic moments. So, in order to slowly build up these characters and make them feel more real, like make them closer to human level, but not at that level, of course, and still they're going to bleed and stuff, right? So, and then tie their power to dramatic uh, plot points. So in a way, we will be able to enjoy the films and have like you can feel the tension, right? You can feel the characters are actually afraid of something. They don't want to get hurt, right? And they also don't want other people to get hurt. So it's more dramatic that way. So I hope in the future we can have superhero films like that. Like when you think about when you're watching like you see this there's Homelander, right? The Homelander series. The superheroes there are not uber superheroes. Like in the comics, I think we've progressed too much. We're like in the late era of comics. Like the power levels are just way out there, right? It's just because it's comics. In comics, you want that, right? You want this like it's a nightmare power. But I think in film, I think it would be best to make them a little bit more grounded, right? And then so that other characters that have intelligence or technology can actually level with them, and we can have threats, and character can have more development because of that limited power that they have to exert themselves. So just like Dragon Ball, right? If you watch Dragon Ball, it's not always that Goku has this super saiyan energy, right? He has to like focus himself, exert himself to, you know, unleash this power. So I think that would be best in the future for superhero films. I hope maybe we could do some experiments, like a TV series, maybe have that, and I think it works. I don't know. For film, we don't have to be the grand, super strong like in the DC film, like in Zack Snyder's film, like in as the uh, after Man of Steel, things kind of went away. Like that's the rules of the world kind of went away. Like when I saw like that horned guy and his axe did nothing to Superman, it was weird. It kind of felt forced, like a Deus Ex Machina kind of thing, and it was not explained that it was due to the mother box energy that he had that power at that moment, and we don't know if he loses that amount of power that he had, which made Steppenwolf like practically useless against him. So we must be careful. I hope writers in the future would be careful to at least have the final battle, at least not like that anymore. I don't want to see anything like that anymore. Like Superman comes in, then practically everything is solved, right? I don't want to pay for a film that's like that, because uh, I want to feel something. I want to see myself in the character, right? I want to see the struggle of the character and learn from that, like experience vicariously through the character the moment of triumph, right? It's not like you just come there and then everything is just solved, and that's not how it works. So it kind of felt fake. It felt like it pulled me out from the film, and it's too confusing. Anyway, there's a lot of issues about that film. So and then please, please, DC, please don't try to be funny, because DC is Detective Comics. It's not funny. Marvel was childish, right? This is just in my memory. When I was reading DC Comics, it felt serious. It felt adult, right? It felt like it was written for adults, right? So it's grounded. It has rules, and the rules of the world are balanced. Like Superman uh, actually does the in the comics. I think from the past, Superman doesn't involve himself too much. I think that's his rule, right? He doesn't want to intervene if he's not actually there's not actually a cosmic a threat level that nobody can solve. But I don't know. Maybe we should adjust certain things. And I know comic fans may you know may hate that, but I don't know. Like if you remember Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, it was really good. Like if you compare Spider-Man in the comics, Spider-Man in the comics is really like overpowered. It's too much. It's too much. So in Sam Raimi's film, he kind of had to become powerful. Like you already have power, right? You're already strong. Like it's just like working out, right? You have your muscles. Like you can lift that weight, right? But if you just do it like right now, instantly, you're gonna hurt yourself. So you're gonna have to warm up to that, right? Until you become, you actually are able to do that as super powered actions. But then it should not be like forever, right? It should be just a short amount of time, and then your power is going to like come down again, right? So I hope maybe there's a way to show that, right? That you have to exert yourself to become more, but it's not going to remain that way forever. It's going to like subside, and then the more you keep doing that, you keep exerting yourself, like pulling out this power from you, the greater you're able to pull out from your power, right? uh, yeah, so that's it.